Imagine a power so absolute that even the most bloodthirsty conquerors in history were afraid to touch it. In the 19th century, Shaka Zulu's impis were sweeping across southern Africa, leaving nothing but fire and bone in their wake. But when they reached the misty mountains of the Bolobedu people, the greatest warrior in African history did something unthinkable. He stopped, he bowed, and he sent gifts of peace. Why? Because Shaka knew what the world is only just beginning to realize. You can fight a man with a spear, but you cannot fight a woman who controls the sky. Welcome to Africa Mystica. Today, we are crossing the veil into the kingdom of the Modjadji, the Rain Queen. A woman who never marries, is rarely seen by common eyes, and is whispered to be immortal. Is this just a legend to keep enemies at bay? Or did a small tribe in Limpopo discover a secret of nature that modern science still cannot explain? To understand the Rain Queen, we have to go back to the 16th century, to the ruins of the Great Zimbabwe Empire. Legend says the first Modjadji was born of a forbidden union, an incestuous secret between a king and his daughter. Fleeing the wrath of her family, Princess Jugudini escaped south with her followers, carrying nothing but a sacred bundle of rain medicine. She didn't just find a new home, she created a new reality. The Bolobedu people settled in the Bolobedu Mountains, a place that became a green oasis even when the rest of the continent was dying of thirst. But here is where the story turns from history to mystery. The Rain Queen is not a title you are simply born into. It is a biological and spiritual lock. For over 200 years, the throne has passed only from mother to daughter. No king has ever sat on this throne. In fact, the queen is forbidden to marry a man. Instead, she marries many wives from across the kingdom, a political masterstroke that turns every noble family into her relative, ensuring no one ever tries to overthrow her. Now, let's talk about the rain. Every year, during the transition of the seasons, the queen performs the Legabath, the rainmaking ritual. Skeptics call it a coincidence. Scientists call it meteorological observation. But the locals, they call it survival. Witnesses throughout history have documented that when the queen enters her sacred grove, the atmosphere literally shifts. Is it possible that the Modjadji bloodline possesses an ancient knowledge of cloud seeding that predates modern technology by centuries? Consider this. The Bolobedu land remains lush and fertile while surrounding areas suffer from devastating droughts. Even during the apartheid era, the South African government was so perplexed by her influence that they dared not interfere with her kingdom. They recognized her as a traditional leader, but in reality, they were afraid of the spiritual uprising her power could trigger. But what happens when the rain stops? What happens when a queen, who is supposed to be immortal, faces the one thing she cannot control? For generations, the world believed the Rain Queen was the same woman living for hundreds of years. This was by design. The Modjadji lived in extreme seclusion. She was the hidden one. When she grew old and felt her power fading, she would undergo a ritual suicide by poison, passing her secrets and her spirit to her eldest daughter in a ceremony so secret that no outsider has ever witnessed it. This transfer of soul ensured that the queen was always young, always powerful, and always terrifying to her enemies. But in the year 2001, the mystery hit a wall. Makobo Modjadji Vi ascended to the throne. She was young, she used a cell phone, and she fell in love with a commoner. For the first time in 200 years, the sacred veil was torn. 2 years later, she died under mysterious circumstances at the age of 27. Some say it was a broken heart. Others whisper it was the ancestors reclaiming a power that had been disrespected. Today, the throne sits in a state of tension. The world has changed. Satellites now track the clouds that the queen once commanded. But does that mean the magic is gone? In the Bolobedu Mountains, the cycad trees, some over 1,000 years old, still stand guard over the queen's palace. The people still wait for the mist to roll in, because they know that history is not just what is written in books. It is what is felt in the thunder. The story of the Rain Queen, Modjadji, reminds us that Africa is not a continent that needs to be developed. It is a continent that needs to be remembered. There are powers in the earth and secrets in the blood that science is not yet loud enough to hear. As we stand on the edge of a global water crisis, could the secrets of the Modjadji be the key to our survival? Or are some mysteries meant to stay hidden in the rain? If you want to dive deeper into the forbidden archives of our ancestors, subscribe to Africa Mystica. Next week, we go even deeper. We are looking at the spirits who never leave the Abiku children. You won't want to be in the dark for that one. Stay curious. Stay mystical. This is Africa Mystica.